Hello. We are going to the second Dawntrail Alliance raid. Sandoria, the second walk. I don't know if I pronounced that right. It's been a while since I actually heard the cutscene, so I don't know. Also, I hope the audio is fine because every time I make a new guy, I always forget if I adjusted anything between stuff. And I kind of checked, then didn't really check, you know? Got that ADHD, try your best. Okay, so this first part, okay, also, I have like 4 different videos that I'm gonna show, and so there's a good chance everything's gonna crash. But we're just gonna go with it, okay? This first video is like the day all this stuff ran. This stuff dropped. And so this is like fresh. Most people here are fresh. Okay, so for this first area, there's like all this stuff in the way. And so, you know, if you're running over here, and then you're gonna have to go all the way back around. Anyway, there was all these ads to deal with, and you can see big explosions and stuff like that. And then like all this camera clipping, ugh. So I was trying to get out so I could move my camera around, because I do that, and not have it be like zooming in and out. Like I said though, this is from like the first day, and so some of the stuff you'll see in this video isn't the stuff that people do nowadays. Like I think at this point, there are things that have been generalized, like people kind of just get in the habit of certain stuff, and so I kind of just wanted to show up what it can be like as a day 1 fight. Okay, so we don't go here, we go over this way. But I do have another video that has like more recent stuff, just to show off like what the usual flow is now if you're just randomly queuing into it. Again, what's important is that you understand the mechanics, right? So if you understand how the mechanics actually work, and the way that you handle it can be all sorts of different ways, and that's fine. But this next set of stuff is also just ads. There's like AoEs and stuff, sure. I think there's one where it does like, it doesn't knock you back, it sucks you in. I don't remember the vocabulary, but you can use like arm's length for that, or a sure cast. I think it was this part. Watch it not happen, and I'm just like, should I re-record this whole thing so I don't sound like I don't know what I'm talking about? Okay, it's totally not this one. Spoilers, in some set of ads in this fight, some stuff's gonna happen where like the monsters like pull you into an area and then they explode stuff, and it's like, oh, yeah. Okay, but this first fight, like first boss fight, not gonna lie, is what held up this whole video, okay? Because there's 4 variations in this first fight that just come up randomly. And you know me, if you've watched my videos are long, but thorough, okay? And I go through like the silliest things. And so of course I had to like go get footage for all 4 different types of things. But then I'm also not one of those people who just leave in the middle of a dungeon. So I was just like, dang, I'm committed to running these things multiple times. And so it's taken forever to be able to get all the footage. So I hope y'all appreciate it. Okay, and so this boss is gonna start off with a raid wide. Spoilers, we always start with raid wides these days. Stonega 4. Usually if there's a 4, it's gonna be like a raid wide, from what I've noticed. Okay, and now the boss is gonna do this wrought arms thing, and it brings out these giant arms, okay, on the side. This, and then there's another one on the other side. In the wiki, it's called sculpted arms, and I'm like, okay, I can see how that's sculpted, sure. Anyway, so the boss is going to do some sort of move. In this case, it's going to be 2 line AoEs directly in the center. And the cast is Synchronized Strike. And as you can see here, there's like some fiery tether going to this arm, and then also another fiery tether going off to this arm over here in the back here. And so that means the current attack that is being done by the boss is going to go to whatever it's tethered to. And since it's tethered to both of them, that means both of them are going to do line AoEs. Okay, well, we'll see. I will obviously like dodge that. But now I'm thinking, if you just did line AoEs and these were connected, it's probably gonna be line AoEs on the side, you know what I'm saying? It is. It is actually a bit wider than you would think. Like, you would think it would just be like this, but actually it's wider than you think. And so, go to the center of the stage. Okay, and so now the boss turned, and now the AoEs are going this way. And it's, again, it's tethered. And for this, you would think that that means this would get cleaved and this would get cleaved because the boss also turned. But it's not gonna be like that, okay? Because the boss turned, but these hands did not turn. And so it's gonna actually be the same configuration. Okay, so the boss one went off. And I went to the middle because I was preemptively trying to avoid it, but actually it was on the sides again like this. It didn't go north and south like you would possibly think. And so, yeah, they try to trick you there at the very beginning. But after you've run this for a while, you kind of get used to those things. But if not, then yeah, that's how it works. Okay, Crimson Riddle. For this one, the boss lifts up the tail, and so that means anything behind the boss is going to get swiped. So you want to stand in front of the boss. If you have a hard time with that, you can look at the little markers on the sides or the front little arrow thing to show where the front of the boss is. Okay, so the boss is like looking back, and you see he swiped him back. There's another variation. Okay, Crimson Riddle. This time the boss like inhaled a bunch of fire and is standing up, okay? And so he's like inhaling and he's gonna blow a bunch of fire in the front. And so therefore the safe spot is gonna be behind the boss. And now he's gonna do the thing. The summon Shijin. Oh, Guardians Divine, lend me now your might. Yeah, this is what was ruining my vibe. Ruining my vibe because I had to run this so many times. Okay, so this one is the bird variation, the Phoenix Suzaku. Okay, so each of these 4 variations are gonna have different mechanics. And you would just adjust to each of those mechanics. So for Suzaku here, we have the sides of the stage now in flames, okay? So avoid standing outside the stage. Suzaku jumps up. Okay, so we got some fireballs. Okay, Suzaku is now right here in front of my camera. Okay, so there's these fireballs that you need to avoid, but then Suzaku is also like glowing over here. See that? Okay, and you see these fireballs expanding, so you gotta get away from those. But then also, okay, now Suzaku's like super glowing, so you gotta get out of wherever Suzaku's facing. So this is not safe. Over here with the fireballs is not safe. Okay, another bird, it jumped in the middle, and then it dropped some more fireballs, and then it flew away. We gotta figure out where it flew. Okay, while also getting away. Okay, see, so Suzaku's over here now, facing this direction, And so it's probably gonna do a big thing this way. But we got these fireballs to deal with, so you gotta avoid all of that. Okay, okay. So as you see, don't panic. These AoEs that show up on people happen, but it is like a beat after these fireballs and this one. So wait in the safe spot between all these fireballs and from the middle cleave from the bird, Suzaku. Wait for that to go off and then go run into a safe spot if you have one of these AoEs. Just spread. Generally, if people have the spread markers, they spread away from the boss. And then if people don't have it, you want to run towards the boss. And it also helps melee be able to continue with their uptime and stuff like that. But that's the Suzaku one, okay? So I think what I will do, should I just finish this fight and then show the other ones, or should I? Huh. It's been so long I don't remember what the flow is. I'll just no, I'll show the rest. I'll show the rest. And then I'll show the other variations and then show more, because there is some tricky. No, you know what? Nah. We're gonna go into, we're just gonna show. Okay, here's another one. There's no audio because I was, finagling with audio stuff. But so in this one, who do we get? I think it's the tiger. Yeah, Byaku. Okay, so for this one, we have like walls, screens on the sides. Okay. And so Byaku jumped from here over here. And so you gotta keep an eye on where Byaku is. Byaku is like on that wall over there, like hanging on that wall, right? And then here, now you see a line AoE. So it's like, oh, hey, I'm gonna jump from this wall. Better get out of the way. To get out of the way. And now, so it does a straight line, and then did you see that very quick AoE here? It slams down, okay? And then it jumps to the center, but then it does it again. Okay, it goes here, and then there's gonna be a line AoE and then a big circle AoE, because it's gonna rush across and then slam down. So you gotta not stand in line with where it's going, okay? Okay, now the boss is doing Quake. What is this? Okay, so we got AoEs on the ground. And then also, see that? Byaku's doing the thing again, jumping across, and there's probably gonna be a big AoE here. Whereas the boss himself did that Quake thingy, which has like a circle AoEs. Let's just confirm. Yeah, 3 sets of circle AoEs. Oh, it's underneath random players. Okay. So just more AoEs to dodge. There's movement here. And again, Byaku is like over here. Oh, when the AoEs go off, it does show a little bit of a earthquake kind of thing. And yeah, so with this, you're overlapping the big kitty going across the stage, doing a large AoE, and then also these little smaller AoEs. So just keep an eye out for all that. And then I was so excited when I saw this one, because this was the last one I needed, actually. And then I had to go get other footage for other submarines. It's the whole thing. Okay, so this one, I believe, is the little dragon. Seiryu. Okay, the dragon's over there. Okay, there is a line AoE. All right, and then we see these arrows, it's rotating that way. That is counterclockwise. And so what that means is it's like, it's gonna blow fire out and then be like, wah, and like turn its head. You know what I'm saying? Like a cone kinda. Well, just watch. rah, and then it's kind of like, it's like going that way. You see it turn its head that way? So that means basically here and like everything over here is like not gonna be safe. Okay. Okay, Crimson Riddle, we saw this before. The boss lifts the tail, and so anything behind the boss is gonna get cleaved. But then we have to turn and go figure out where the dragon is. Okay, so the dragon's over here. It's got the line anyway, so is it gonna be this side or is it gonna be this side? That's safe. Okay, so it's turning this way, so that means its head is gonna go here, and then it's gonna breathe fire all the way this way, so that means this whole side is gonna be unsafe, so we need to run to the opposite side. I sprinted. Okay, see? So like it goes all the way here and goes all the way there. And shortly after we get these AoEs on people, so you know, spread out. So essentially, most of these like little bosses, it is you see what the boss does, like the phoenix or the tiger or the dragon, and then it'll overlap with the main boss doing stuff. Let's see, just one, two. Okay, and then so this is the last one. This one is the turtle. Okay, so the turtle slaps down, and then these lines will pop up all around the stage. And in some of these like points of intersection with the lines, there will be geysers and stuff, or just part of the lines and stuff. There'll be geysers. If you see that, that means there's going to be a circle AoE there soon. And so I just hang out at a point that doesn't have it, wait for the first ones to blow up, and then run to those spots. Okay. And so while that's happening, the turtle, Genbu, also is doing this thing called Midwinter March? Genbu, yeah. So there's this AoE that shows up. And so that means while you're dodging these things, make sure you don't run into the AoE, because then the turtle jumps up and then slams down over there. Is it a turtle? Is he a turtle? Or tortoise? I don't want to misspecies him, you know what I'm saying? Adamantoise? Is that, okay, so a tortoise? Tortoise? Okay, anyway, so Genbu will jump, the mini boss would jump over there, okay? Okay, and then afterwards, after the circle AoE, we got the donut AoE. So make sure you don't stand in it, but also make sure you're close enough to run in when it switches to a donut. Okay, and then the boss is doing the overlapping stuff. So Crimson Riddle with the tail means everything behind the boss is gonna get hit. So you need to go in front of the boss. And remember, you can cut through the hitbox. And so that one is the fourth little boss. All that effort for 20 minutes of a video guide. Legit, I ran this thing so many times. Okay. Is this the original one? Okay, let's continue. So after whatever random mini boss you get to see, we go back to this wrought arms thing. So those muscular arms are gonna come back on the sides of the stage. Okay, so now instead of line AoEs, we've got this circle AoE. Out of all the times I ran this, I kept getting crushed by this thing, okay? Like, I was not paying attention, and so it was a whole thing. Okay, so first, that AoE went off. The boss did like a circular thing, right? And now the arms was connected, and now they're glowing, and they're gonna do circle AoEs. But it's actually a donut. Oh, I made it, and I didn't die to this. Okay, nice. Okay, so you gotta pay attention. So here, the boss is now gonna do this thing called striking left, and there's an AoE you can see. And so one, you don't want to stand in there, but also the boss is connected to this particular arm. But there's no glowy thing on this arm, so we don't have to worry about that one. But because it's connected to this one, what's gonna happen is this arm is gonna copy whatever move. And so since it's a circle AoE, this one's gonna do that. And it's going to be larger than you think, just like the very first time it copied something. So avoid this first circle and get out of the next bigger circle. See, it's a lot wider than you think. It goes all the way to the edge of the boss's about to. Okay. This one is a raid wide stone, like a 4 stone 4. Okay, smiting right sequence. There's a tether here to this arm, okay, and so we're gonna have to pay attention to. So we see a circle AoE, so there's probably gonna be a big circle AoE on this side, but also before the cast name was striking left, I believe. Yeah, hold up. Okay, not this. Yeah, so this one is called striking left, okay? But this one is called smiting right sequence. Like, we got different words here. Let me confirm this with a thing. Yeah, a sequence as in like there's gonna be multiple things happening. So this is one, it's gonna be a circle AoE. And I'm anticipating another one. Okay, now it's gonna be an even bigger circle AoE. So if we remember, when it was on one side, okay, the boss would slam down, and then this other hand slam down over here. So what I'm thinking, well, I don't know if I thought this like a month or two ago, but what I'm thinking now is like, okay, it's gonna hit here, and then we're gonna get one big AoE on this side from the arm over here, you know what I'm saying? And then there's gonna be this big AoE here that the boss slams down on. But when we saw that before, that also turned into a donut AoE. And so let's see if that's right. I'll show this a few times because it can be confusing, and it took me a while to like really get adjusted to it. And see this last one, both of them are connected. It's a whole thing. I'll show. Okay, so the boss hit down one, and so now I'm expecting this arm over here to go do this big thing. Okay, so it did, and I'm standing here, and I was like, I didn't pay attention, or I didn't know. This is my first time running it, and that's fine. But then I also see, oh, there's this big AoE here, and so that's the sequence. The boss hits once. Now the big arm is gonna do its copycat move, and then I see that the next one is gonna be this big AoE, so I gotta get out of that. Okay, but then immediately after is the donut. Okay, so it is as predicted. And like I said, I only know that because I ran this like a bajillion times. Okay, so let's just look at that again elsewhere. Okay, so this is immediately after like the 4 different variations, okay? So the big circle AoE is gonna be that, and then it's gonna be a donut. So outside then inside. And now it's gonna pick one of the arms. Okay, striking right, okay, that's fine. So it strikes on the right side and it connects to this one, which is, I guess, the right arm. And then, so that means it's gonna hit here, and then it's gonna do a big AoE like this. Because this arm is the one that slams down. My cat's yelling right now. My roommate usually comes home at this time, but he's not home yet, and so she's crying for him. Okay, see, so then this one hits. And then we got the raid wide. And then we will see the sequence. Okay, synchronized sequence. Okay, so this one looks a little different, and that's fine. There's so many different variations. Okay, so here we can see line AoEs coming out. Okay, but remember from the very first part of it, these arms don't change direction, and so that means that when they do the line AoEs, it's gonna be like this. But also remember, it's gonna be wider than you think, and so make sure you're standing like in the middle. Oh my gosh, am I just like worried this thing's gonna crash? Okay, and then so after the line AoE situation, so much to remember, I know. After the line AoE situation, I just park it right here, okay? After that, it's gonna be the boss is going to slam down here, and because then it's only connected to this one and not the one over here, then the AoE is going to go like this when it copies it. Okay, so let's just take a look. So I try to just stay back. Okay, so there's the first line, now the copycat lines, okay. Then get out of the slamming thing. Okay, so it looks like they happen at the same time. And then get out of this big arm one. Yeah, it's a bit, I'll admit. Did that rhyme? Okay, let's see what this one has. There's no audio in this one. Okay, the arms. Okay, so this is the donut AoE. Oh, well, it's a circle AoE and then it turns into a donut. So make sure you run in Ghost. Okay, striking left. So the boss turns it. Okay, sure, it's just going to turn this way. So it kind of looks like the boss, when it says left, it's usually the boss's actual left arm. It's like, but the boss has turned this way or this way, and so the left part is just referring to the boss, but you do need to pay attention to like which direction he's looking, and then which one he's connected to. But usually if he's striking the left, then it's going to attach to this left arm. So the boss is going to hit here first, and then the big arm is going to do the big AoE like that. Okay, and then the raid wide. Okay, and this is a sequence one. Okay, so this is the line AoE again. Again, notice both arms are tethered. So it's going to be the line AoE here, and then line AoEs on the sides. While the line AoEs on the sides go off, we're going to get this, it's going to hit its arm on that side. But it's only connected to this one. So that means this one's going to get the big circle AoE again. So let's see that. Okay, that, and then get out of the big circle AoE. There we go. Ooh, I took a lot of damage. Okay, so that's how that sequence works. One more time. I'll just save it. I'll save it so after I explain these next parts, and then we'll just see it all the way through in real time. Okay, so after that whole situation with the arms, wait, she's so lonely. I'm going to close the door. So after that whole sequence, the stage is going to kind of get smaller, and then the boss will do Mighty Arm. Summons a persistent AoE around the stage. Okay, yep, that's what this is. And it makes the stage a smaller rectangle. Okay, yes, that's what this is. So the Mighty Grip is a stage transition. So with this, now we can attack these chiseled arms. Okay, so you pick one and attack it. Now this threw me off for a while. We got 4 different tank busters going on here, and I was not paying attention. I fear I cannot shield against the assault alone. Shields with me. Okay. I didn't realize the NPC was actually in one of these. And so I was like, oh, we don't have enough tanks. We should probably get someone to blah, blah, blah. And so in some of my runs, I actually ran into this when I shouldn't have. But actually, just the tanks should run in. Okay. You see there's like 2 people here? Because we're all confused. Thought we were supposed to like soak them or something. But anyway, so the tanks go hang out in there while everyone else, okay, see this person totally died. While everyone else just attacks the arms. Okay, Kieran Captivator. Okay, so there's gonna be like bits of like raid wides and stuff. Like, see all these little kind of like effects and things like that. We have really big shields though, so we're not really seeing noticeable damage. So, great. Now we just took care of the arms. Still in a combat. Okay, is that it? Did I miss anything? Oh, the boss will summon another Shijin if DPS is low. Oh. Oh wait, no, that's just after. Oh, okay, yeah. So at this point, we're like near the end of the fight, you know what I'm saying? And we'll repeat the mechanics here. So the rot arms is what we saw. We summons the arms and stuff, and then does what we saw at the beginning, the line AoEs. Okay, and this is a sequence, so it'll be lines, circle AoE, big circle. Lines, and the big circle, little circle, and then the big circle. You know, I didn't do too bad this first run. Okay. Wait. Watch this one just from like. Wait. No, is it this one? No. I think we're done with this one, actually. I think we're done with this one, too. Look at this one. Just to show this again. So, pick a chiseled arm and attack it. It seems like at this point, I played this one a few days ago, a week ago or something. So this one's more recent than the other video. Looks like most people attack this arm first, but you can target both, either. But most people attack this one arm first. And then yeah, the tanks need to be standing in these tank buster things. And yeah, here we go. See, you can see the NPC holding it in there. I did not see that the first few times I ran this. And oh yeah, see, we get hit with like the shockwave and stuff. And so, you know, healers should be paying attention to our health and things like that. Yeah, see, so more shockwave stuff, etc. Okay, and then at this point, the mechanics repeat. So this is a sequence one. So we got the circle AoE, which is going to turn into a big circle AoE on this side, and then the center circle AoE, which will turn into a donut. I want it. Okay, and then go inside. Okay, another set of the sequence stuff. So we got the line AoEs. Again, so the boss is going like this, right? But the hands are also going to be going like this. So you want to go out here and then dodge inward. But then we got this hand going down, and so that and it's connected to this one. So that means eventually it's going to be a big AoE over here. So you want to take things literally like in sequence, like wait. You have to wait for a lot of stuff. First one, and then move in a little bit. Don't go into the AoE thingy yet. Okay, now move further away to get away from that big arm. Okay. Then we got a raid wide. And then afterwards he'll summon another little boss if you don't destroy him fast enough. Anyway, okay, cool. So that's that. Let's go back to this first run. I wanted to show like my first run compared to like a more recent run, but honestly, I was doing fine this first run. This way is going to be kind of chaotic. So we land on this thing, and eventually we're actually going to run over here where this lava fella is. There's like a lot of stuff going on. And we're going to have to jump off the ship. I see they're on fire. Okay, so this thing, when this thing shows up, you want to jump down. So there's all these like airships and stuff everywhere. It's a whole story. So these ones are just ads and stuff. So just take care of them. Lots of AoEs and stuff. Ooh, you can't interrupt this. Okay, then we make our way to this little corner, and then we're gonna jump off onto another airship. Okay, so we got a situation here. We got Omega, and then we have Ultima over here. So we got two bosses. Typically, people will just focus on this main boss first, because this is the one that's like moving around a lot more. This first move, Eon Flux, is gonna be a raid wipe. And then we had tank busters there. Okay, now over here, Ultima did some little animation, and these circles popped up. Let me see if I can catch something. Basic energy orb. So when you see these energy orbs, they're going to shoot energy out. And so basically, large line AoE here. So you don't want to stand in the way of that. Now, while that's happening, Omega is going to do some stuff too. So here is doing aft to 4 fire. And so that means it's going from behind first and then the front. And so it can be a little trippy because it's like a lot of colors and stuff, but it's showing, okay, so behind is going to hit first. So you want to wait in front, and then this shows up. But, and you see, so a lot of people ran back thinking it was going to happen, but then the attack didn't actually go off yet. So it can be tricky. Okay, so read the name of the mechanic, or just make sure when you first pick the safe spot, you remember to wait until the attack actually goes off before running out of it. This will happen a few times, so we'll see it a few more times. Okay, so now we get some arrows like pushing off the stage, right? And so you want to go towards the arrows because you want to ride the knockback and not get pushed off the stage. And then while you're adjusting for that along this wall, some airships are gonna show up. And so you don't want to stand in line with that airship because it's gonna go across. But also be careful with this here. This might look like a platform, but it's not. It's just some glowing thing. And I have seen people fall off. Okay, so here, this whole thing is like not great. So you want to be on this side. Okay, and then so while that whole slippery slide thing happens, we get these AoEs that we will then just spread out with. Okay, this next one, surface missile, there's going to be rectangles on the stage in a sequence of 3. So this is the first set. Okay, there's here. So pick a spot. Okay, there's a few different ways you can handle it, but yeah. So I pick a spot, and then I'm like, okay, the next time, so for the second round, this spot I'm standing in is still safe, so I'll just stay there. And then for the third round, I'm just like, okay, the third time I'm not safe, so I will go up here. So I'm like, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Up there like that. So that's one way to handle it. Remember to make sure to wait for it to hit 1, 2, and then 3. Now you'll also have to pay attention to these energy orbs over here. Okay? And so I don't see any here in the front, so I stand in the middle. There's a lot of overlapping stuff in this. Okay, and then now we gotta spread for these AoEs. Oh, what's this? It's like a reflective shield thing. Okay, so now we get these energy orb things again, but this reflective shield thing is right there. And so what's gonna happen is the energy is gonna go through this thing, but then this thing's also gonna get reflected. And since it's like up here, it's gonna be like this. Okay, you ever use a mirror to like reflect light? And then it kind of like, you know, it bounces off of it. So that's kind of like what's happening. Okay, so it goes through, and then see, it goes through like that, it goes across. It's not that it's kind of what's happening, it's exactly what's happening. The energy goes in and then it gets reflected that way. So you don't want to stand in that. Okay, trajectory projection. A handful of people are going to get these red things following them. And there's going to be this kind of token counter above their head. As you can see, some of this stuff is like moving, like this is like kind of moving that way. Once this counter goes off, then the AoE will move and you got to get out of the way. I did not get out of the way, but ideally, once the counter stops, you drop it and then you get out of the way. It takes a bit of getting used to the timing. It definitely took me a while. And I will show the other video too to go over this again. Jump from the airship before it's reduced as. Okay, so we all get pushed over here. And then there's all these circle AoEs all over. So you can just run across like some of these other people. Or you can take the safe route, like wait for the AoEs to go off. Wait, like I did, I waited for the next set. You have time. And then, you know, you keep going, but make sure you don't stand in one AoE like too long. Okay, let me just, I will go through on the other one, just to catch up. I'll do the call outs. Okay, so this is a raid bike. Then we got multiple tank blusters, so just keep that away from people. The boss in the back is doing the energy orbs. So just look out for where it's at. Someone just fell off. Do you see that? Not the robot, but someone else, like, yeah, they just fell off. Okay, so the energy orb, but then watch out for the front and back attack. Well, first is back and then the front. It's kind of fast. Okay, now stand along the edge, but don't stand in the actual line glowy thingy because yes, you can fall. Okay. Also watch out for the boat, the ship. I'm pretty sure I fell off once before too. This is silly. Yeah, we spread out those AoEs. Yeah, okay. All right, so this is the missile stuff. So here I'm saying the first safe spot. Oh no, like I'm gonna have to move the next time. And then the third time I'm fine. And so with this variation, I'm like, I don't wanna adjust my very first spot because I'm gonna forget. So I'm like, I stay, I move, and I move again. That's for that variation. So I stay, I move, and then I move back. I also see these energy orbs, so I want to make sure I'm not in the way. Okay, and spread out these things. I'm standing in it because like everyone can take just one hit, and I didn't have one, so it was fine. I would just get healed by the AoE heal. Okay, so this thingy showed up, so that means the energy orbs are going to show up, and that's going to be reflected. This line, okay. Trajectory projection, this is the red AoE thingy. It's projected, and it's going to slide across. Let's see if I make it this time. Okay, see, it stops, and I think the problem is I keep like moving backwards when really if it drops, I should just keep going like away instead of going out and then back because that's what I did both times. But I've done it at least once correctly. And I think it was because I just ran away from it. Okay, so then we get brought to the front here and then you want to just run out into the spot, into this jumping spot. Scary. And you have time to kind of make it over there. You don't have to sprint too much. If you kind of want to sprint, but you don't have to like run through everything. You can wait a bit. Okay, Citadel Buster. It's gonna be a big AoE. And then there's gonna be a proximity marker, so you want to just, you know, stay along the sides away from this. Oh, I used one of my crackers. This was the first time I played in like 3 or 4 months. And so I was like, I don't know how to use my buttons. Yeah, I'm gonna make a guide out of this video here. So it's kind of silly. Anyway, so this here we got tractor beam. Oh, it's tractor beam? Yeah, this is the tractor beam is this arrow thingy where it's like drawing you in towards. So you want to stand along the side and then watch out for the ship so you don't get hit by the ship. And then it looks like we're gonna get those red AoEs again, the trajectory projection thingy. So spread away from people and then run out of it. But then also we get this thing from the Ultima. We got the screens to figure out where the orbs are. Okay, I'm running all over the place. Oh yeah, this was the first time I ran, no wonder. So the orbs is here, so we know for sure it's gonna be like dips, but I'm pretty sure I saw a screen over here. So that means it's gonna go across, and then it hits this screen, so it's gonna go across there too. Yeah. So what happened? These things are called mana screens. What happened is there's a screen in the back here, right? So the orbs are up on this side. So it went back like this, and then the screen back here reflected it this way. And then it hit this screen, and this screen reflects it this way. So basically, it's like this all over the stage. And so your safe spot's actually in the front here. There is a screen here, but nothing ever actually hits it. So you'll have to pan your camera around and do some visual kind of adjustments to figure out if you're gonna get hit with stuff. Okay, and then here we spread out the AoEs. Is it physics? And things reflect? I don't know. Okay, so this we get a proximity marker. Oh, oops. We have a proximity marker, and then another one's gonna drop. So this first one's here, and then the second one, and so it's gonna rotate in this direction. So the next one's gonna be here, and the next one's gonna be here. And so you wanna stand kind of like diagonal to the first one, wait for it to blow up, and then you start running in whatever direction they were dropping. And so since it was clockwise, wait here, and then you also run clockwise, because the next one will blow up is this. So the furthest you can be from this is over here. So I'll go from here to here. And then when I go over here and wait, this one blows up. Okay, I didn't run fast enough. But that's the general idea. So the first one, for this surface missile, I saw that this panel was safe, so I just stay here. Second one is also safe. Third one, I'm gonna have to move. First one, second one is safe. Third one, I'm gonna have to move. Okay. Now there's some overlapping here. So for this, okay, I don't want to stand over there, but then now I also got this to deal with Omega. So after 4, so that means the back is gonna hit first, and then the front is gonna hit. And so I'm gonna stay here in a safe spot, wait for the things to go off, and then move over. Wait for it. It will turn orange right before it hits. So don't get confused. You can move over. There was also an energy orb thing over this side, and so you only have this amount of space to work with. And it's enough space, but if you're not familiar with like hanging out really close to the hitbox, then you gotta remember to kind of hug the boss. There's a raid blade. Tank busters. I think at this point everything is basically repeated. Like it might be overlapping with each other, but I've always essentially seen it. Yeah, so we solve this. Stand on the edge, avoid the ship, watch for some other random mechanic. Okay, so it's gonna be the red AoEs that are gonna drop. Okay, we get those screens, so figure out where the screens are. Figure out where the first orbs are going. Okay, so it's gonna go like this, so this is not gonna be safe. And then it goes here and it hits this one, so it's gonna be like this. So back here is safe. No, ghosts, don't run into it. Okay, and then we got these to spread out. And then the proximity markers rotating again. You don't have to go all the way this far back. Yeah, so like some people were further up. I think I was just trying to be extra safe, but if you go too far, then you're like the radius, then you have to run further, you know, to get away from these things, and so that can be troublesome. Okay, so here I picked the first safe spot, second is safe here, third is not, so I stay for 2, and then I move on the third one. Okay, so I see the energy things here, and now this thing is going fore to aft, so it's going to be the front first, and then the back. So I want to make sure to stay in the back. See, I always hang out by the line, and then I quickly move over. Okay, so then once this boss is done, then we go take care of the other one. And it will just do the same mechanics that we've seen. Okay. I think because it basically just repeated, we don't need to see more of that stuff. I'll just move on to the next one. Yo, man, like, you know, people always be saying removing your gallbladder is no big deal. Turns out that's not always true. I've been dealing with all sorts of stuff. Okay, so this is just ads. And also, I think this is where the thing happens where it like draws you in and then it does an attack. I think it's this one. I gotta like represent myself from an hour ago. Yeah, see, it's this one. So you can use arm's length or short cast to not get bamboozled into this stuff. There's gonna be some like giants that show up, but it's all just an ad phase. So yeah, I've been dealing with a lot of stuff, which is also why these videos have been kind of late too. Not that that's a big deal, but it's just like, you know, I like to be thorough when I start monologuing about my life. I like going in sequential order. Yeah, I've been really learning a lot more about like the digestive system and just nutrients in general, food textures in general, enzymes in general, all these things. Oh my gosh. And I like, when it was happening, I was trying to get back into game dev and I was like, I don't want to deal with health stuff right now. Can I not? But then the more I kept trying to resist having to deal with health stuff, the more, you know, the worse it got. And so I had to be like, okay, fine, I'm putting all my projects on hold again to focus on my health, which is fine and good. I will do it, but like, oh my gosh, I wanted to do some fun stuff. So it's been a whole thing. For anyone interested, I'll probably make a really long video on it. The The last time I made a video, I think it was like 4 hours long, maybe 5 hours long. When I was talking about my gallbladder. This one, I feel like it's probably gonna be like, I wonder if it'll be like 6 hours long because there's just, it's getting worse. I'm getting too comfortable making really long videos, you know what I'm saying? Y'all wanna learn about the digestive system? Let me open my PowerPoint presentation. Okay, what's this next buzz? Is this a tricky one? Oh my gosh, yeah, this is the tricky one. You can see here that there's like, in down here, there's like so much footage. It's because of this fight. We kept wiping on this, and people kept being like, no, I'm not. And so it was a struggle. Okay, so this first one, Inspirited Swordplay. It's gonna be the raid wide, but then immediately after, you gotta pay attention. Okay, because I was not paying attention. It took me forever to figure out this mechanic. Okay, Proven Ground. That was really quick, but there was a little AoE there. Okay, and now, yeah, there's all these effects, but this thing is glowing, okay? The circle there is glowing. You don't want to step in that. If you step in that, it's like you get a bleed or something. Okay, but this, he's like yelling some stuff, and he's doing this thing called Elemental Blade, and I did not pay attention, but I am pointing it out now. There's an animation here happening, and it's blue, okay? There's bubbles, okay? And you just have to pay attention to that. Oh, there's bubbles, okay. Oh, so now it's green, and it's green, and there's leaves and stuff. You have to pay attention. I was not paying attention, and I was like, the heck? How am I supposed to know what's going on? And so what did we say? It was blue and bubbles, so like water, and also green for this one. And so that means, okay, Sublime Elements. This is going to get bigger, and then this one's going to get bigger. And so that means our safe spots are going to be here or here. I was just like kind of already there, and I was like, oh shoot, oh shoot. Okay, so that tripped me up. Okay, so when he does Elemental Blade, literally you have to look at the animation. And it just looks like whimsical stuff from like people's attacks, but it's actually from the boss. It's like the only tell that you'll get. So we got leaves, and then what else? Okay, and then we got water again. Sure. So it's like always random. So this time it's like cones. So we got water and leaves. Okay, so it's gonna expand like this, and then this one's gonna expand like this. So safe spot's gonna be here and over here, because this green one's gonna expand this whole way. This blue one's gonna expand this whole way. I didn't know that. Okay, so I got hit with Sublime Earth because I was still in like this little cone when it went off. Yeah, so that's how you read that. And it will happen a few more times, so I'll be able to show it, but it took me forever to figure it out. Okay, so this Princely Blow is the tank busters, and you know, it's the caution tape one. So you don't want to stand near them, especially like behind them or anything. And with this one, it's going to actually knock you backwards. And so you gotta pay attention to that. At this first part, it doesn't matter, but spoilers, look at this little like indent. The stage is gonna have some dangerous spots. Okay, so here, there's a line AoE, but then it drops you swords. And you can see, oh dang, what's this called? The hilt. Hilt of sword, is that the bottom? Oh, my internet's really bad these days. Yeah, the hilt. Okay, so I usually look for the hilt to figure out which side is the back. And you should stand behind the back, close to the hilt. The way the sword is facing, that's going to be the direction that the AoE is going. Okay? The AoE is going like this, and then this one's going like this. So it's like every other, basically. And this one is going to go like this. So yeah, you want to find the one that is not going to have the AoE. There we go. Great wheel. Okay, so we got circle AoE here. But then look at this. He's like powering up, and he's gonna hit this side. Let's see. Great Wheel, telegraph point blank AoE. The boss will rotate to face a new direction and immediately follow with a late telegraph 180-degree frontal cleave. So get behind. Okay, so that's what this is, the 180 cleave. So for this, the boss is facing this way. After this circle AoE, the spinning happens and then the front spins this way. So whatever this side is pointed, you don't want to stand in front there. You want to go to the back. Okay? So the boss does a little twirl and then faces a certain way and then does a cleave. Okay, Inspirited Swordplay is the red white. Okay, Esoteric Survening. This is just a stage transition. Oh, are we getting lifted up or did the stage go? Anyway, so we have a circle here and then we have like these little platforms on this side. Okay, there's one there. So there's 3 platforms on this side. So we'll have to keep an eye on that later. This was a big raid wide. I don't know why people were running back here. This is... Okay, Elemental Edge. After the arena changes place, you're going to open an instant magical raid-wide shockwave, followed by Transcendent Union doing 5 hits of magical damage. I'm not sure if this matters that we're all standing back here. Oh, I was just following people. Let's check. Let's check what we did over here. Should we see the beginning of this? Classes starts off as a raid wide. And then this is the one you gotta pay attention. Don't stand in the middle, but pay attention to the elements that show up. So it's lightning and fire. Lightning and fire. So, okay, fire and lightning. So these are gonna expand, and so the safe spot's gonna be like over here. And then it happens again, so watch that. Okay, lightning again. Oh, and fire again. Sure. And it's gonna be the cone version. So it's this going like this, and this like this, this like this. And so the safe spots are gonna be here or over here. Tank buster, spread out, don't stand behind the tanks. Okay, see, they got knocked backwards and stuff. Okay, so there's a line AoE and then the sword's gonna show up. Find the hilt and stand along a hilt. Out of the AoE and watch which direction he's facing and stand behind him. So he's facing this way, it's gonna cleave like that. So you wanna stand behind. Oh, that was a red bike. I got distracted. I could smell the food my roommate's cooking. Curry. I made it for him. I got into this whole meal prepping situation, you know? So I made a bunch of curry for him. Okay, the stage is gonna change. Let's see if we all run to the side or not, or we just stay on the main platform. Because I don't think it's proximity based. Yeah, legit. The Transcendent Union. Yeah, so everyone's just hanging out here. So I don't think it has anything to... We don't even get hit with it, really, because we had such big shields and stuff. Whereas in the other one, the very first one, I don't think people were ready for it. And so we did get hit a bunch.
The music still stands. Very well.
Okay, so for this... Oh, wait, this is a new one. Wait. Let's go see from the first run first, because that one's going to be probably more chaotic. Okay, so Esoteric Palisade. These things turn into that shimmery stuff, and so if you stand it, you're going to bleed. So you can't go there for now. Crystalline Resonance, we're going to get these crystals along the side. So there's a yellow earth one, and then like a blue teal icy one, and then there's like a deeper blue bubbly water one, and it's going to change to different things. So here the boss has this expanding elemental thing, and it is the darker blue water, and you can even kind of hear the sound effects of water. And so what's going to happen is it's going to expand, and once it hits the crystal that it is the same element of, the crystal is going to explode. So it's going to go like this, and so that means we need to be over here somewhere to not get hit. There we go. Okay, so the next one is the yellow earth, so you want to stay away from the yellow earth crystal. And then the next one is ice, so you want to stay away from that. Okay, and then we got some people with AoEs. I'm gonna spread those. Okay, and then now these extra dudes like show up. I mean, it's fine, I guess, but you want to stand in the spots they don't overlap. Okay, and then immediately, look at this, we got a knockback, okay? So you want to get knocked back onto one of these stages on the sides. If you time it well, you can use your knockback prevention. You see where I stood? I kind of stood right in the middle. And it was a little bit harder to adjust where I was going. You know what I'm saying? So I fell off in this direction. So you want to position yourself a little bit better than the way that I did. Okay, and then immediately after that we had the stack and then the tank busters. For the tank stuff, remember they're knockback. And so the tanks want to position themselves to get knocked back into a stage, not off the stage. Or you can use your knockback prevention, or some of the tanks have like, I think like the warrior, their invuln also has knockback prevention or something. And so just make sure you're safe. I think one of the tanks died because they went off the stage. Okay, so this is where all this stuff falls apart. But we'll just keep watching, okay? So here, that was fire, and then now lightning. Okay, and then ice. Fire, lightning, and ice. It's so hard to remember. I have bad short-term memory. Okay, fire, lightning, and ice. So that means this, and then this, and then this. So I guess we have a safe spot maybe here. Maybe down here. I was guessing. Oh, and then some people fell off the stage. You gotta be careful. Many people fell off the stage. You gotta be careful. Do I fall off the stage? I didn't. I'm pretty sure I have fallen off the stage for that specific one though. Okay, line AoE. Watch where the swords are, where the hilt is. Okay, I'm kind of in the, I'm not in a good place. And I was also overlapping with this person. Yeah, a lot going on. Yeah, I'm a spoiler, like, oh, there's just a lot, there's a whole thing, and then we died a lot, and then we waited a lot, and then it was the whole thing, we did a whole thing. Okay, so let me just show the other footage so we can spare ourselves from some of that. Or maybe here, maybe I'll just try to find when we really, yeah, I think we cleared it this time. So we'll just, yeah, we'll start from here when the stage changes. Okay, this is a raid blade. Okay, see, at this point, we didn't need to run all the way back here. I don't think we did. It's mostly just a heal check. Like, you should throw your mitigation out during that one big raid ride. BT dubs. Okay, so the crystals, when the ice thingy touched the ice crystal will blow up. And then when the water crystal touches the water crystal, water will blow up. Okay, same with the earth crystal, when that touches that one, it goes up. So we just run across away from it, from the one that is going to get touched. And we spread out these AoEs. And the dudes show up, and they're gonna do their line AoEs that cross over. Okay, now position yourself to get knocked back directly onto the platform. Here we go. If you step in this, this is gonna be a bleed. This whole thing. Okay, there's a stack. And then now the tanks will go onto the platforms. Ooh, what's going on here? What's going on here? Okay, okay, they didn't die. Okay, also remember there's a little AoE here, and it's got that shimmery stuff, so if you step in it, you bleed. Okay, elemental, so lightning, ice, and fire. Lightning, ice, and fire. Lightning, ice, and fire. Lightning, ice, and fire. I'm next to the fire. Okay, fire, ice, lightning. So I'm expecting it to expand like this and like this. So maybe I have a spot right here. Yeah. That was lucky. I didn't actually know how to read it until like a week or two ago. So like definitely not during this run. Okay, I missed that. I was just chatting. Watch the swords, you know, spread the AoE, you know, okay. Do the thing. Oh, okay, actually let's take a look at that. Okay, so the line will bring up those swords. For this one, all these swords are facing a particular way, so all the hilts are over here, so this whole spot is safe. You're gonna spread out those AoEs, okay, while avoiding the swords. Great wheel, remember, don't stand in the circle. It's gonna do a twirl, and then face a certain direction, and you don't want to be in front. Also, you wanna help out with the stack marker, but don't be in front. I think that's what wiped us for one of them. That's what wiped a lot of these people. Okay, and then there's a raid wide. I just thought of that one character in this one dungeon. I forget his name. He's like, he says like sloppy, or something like that. We're trying our best, you guys, okay? Okay, for this one, it's basically the same premise, but it's just multiple crystals, okay? So you got your ice one and you got your water one. So the water one's right here. I can't see the ice one, so it's probably over here. So it's gonna be 2 AoEs that explode. So you want to get away from those. Okay, so now it's ice and the yellow one. Okay, so it's over here and over here, like this, like this. So you wanna be away from them. Okay, and now it's the blue one and the green one. And so this one's like this one's like this. It's bigger than that. But yeah, you get the point, right? Okay, now light blade. It's the AoE with the swords. Get into a safe spot where the hilt is. So this is safe. And over here is safe. But spread out these AoEs. Oh dang, I died. Yeah, this was a rough first run. We were here for a while. Because some people were like, let's just restart. And so we were like, no, we could still do it. And I did it. And then there was a lot of kind of just like fussiness. Yeah, I think at some point someone was like, don't return back to the starting point. Just, we can recover from spaghetti. We can't recover if people aren't here, or something like that. And I thought it was funny that they mentioned spaghetti. Okay, so I did not pay attention to what the elements were. And at this point, I'm just YOLO swagging and I'm just running, okay? That's exactly what was going on. Even while I'm making this guy, I was not paying attention. Because there's always so many effects, I did not pay attention. So raid wide. The tank stuff, okay, remember to go on your platform. But there's double tanks over there. Yeah, they're fine, they're fine. Oh, one of the comments literally says, we're pretty bad at getting the stack marker out of that cleave. Yeah, with the twirly thing, yeah, it's hard to read. Okay, elements, okay, so there's water. And fire. Oh, and grass, leaves, water. Okay, there we go. So it would have been this, this, and this, and this. So you would have a safe spot down here, or like over here, or something like that. I'm not a big fan of that fight. Because it's so easy for me to miss some of those elemental stuffs because of the effects. Oh wait, yeah. So you see that? Like if you run into that, you bleed. You want to go into this little rift thing. Yeah, I would just not realize I needed to look out for the elemental stuff all the time, and usually get caught up in those expanding AoEs and stuff.
The dreams of Vana'diel become reality. Your time ends now. This world shall belong to the Senate.
Okay. So these like card. Oh, maybe I should change the color for it because it's all blue here. These cards is like a cape. So you're gonna have to watch out for these little cards, okay? It's to tell for the mechanics. So let me move this over to make sure I got this on the side. Okay, so this first one is gonna be the tank busters. Spread those out. Okay, Chrono Sling. So these little card things go into a certain position. The way that it's shaped right now, it's hard because, like, you know, it's, well, okay, maybe like this is like oblong. Is that what oblong is? It's like this. It's like an egg, okay? Like an egg. It's like an egg. I don't know if this is any better. It's an egg. Okay, so what we're gonna see, okay, wait. I can do this. It's gonna be like a smushed down egg. No, we'll go steam bun. How about that? Not the steam bun that's like this, but like a barbecue pork bun. You know what I'm talking about? No? It's like, okay, you know, a potato. It looks like a potato, okay? And the other variation is gonna be more like a can of beans, a cylinder, all right? So if it's this squashed down, if it looks like this potato, this oblong, bruh, is oblong what I mean to say? My internet is so slow. That's also been a problem. Like, I've been having some issues with my internet or something. Okay, well, it's not. Okay, it's saying oblong is like this, which is kind of like that. It's more like a squashed circle. A squashed. What do you call a squashed? Oh my god, what's a three-dimensional circle called? I am losing my vocabulary. A spheroid? Okay, for the sake of the guide, if I say oblong is this shape, okay? This spheroid that's squashed. That's gonna be hard for me to pronounce. So I'm gonna say it's the squashed ball, okay? And then this one's gonna be the can, the cylinder. All right, so, oh wait, why did I just delete that? So when it's the squashed ball, okay, this one is going to be a circle AoE. So you don't want to get squashed underneath that. When it's the cylinder version, it's like empty in the middle. So you do want to stand like in the hitbox because it's going to be a donut AoE. Like that. Outside. Okay. Well, you'll see. We'll see. I'll be saying it and I'll be saying all sorts of stuff. Okay, so Chronos Sling. Bro, the wiki even says the swirls in a messy oblong formation. I should have just read this. Why did I have to Google it myself? Okay, yeah, they also say cylindrical. I'm not crazy. I use the right words. Okay, so when it's oblong, this is a circle area where you don't want to stand in the hitbox. You want to stand outside. Okay, immediately after, the little cards are going to go to one side of the boss. And so right now, they all kind of configured on this side, over here like this. And so that means this whole side is going to get cleaved. So you want to stand on this side. So your opposite side. Okay, Imperial Vortex. Okay, we got we got a lot of stuff going on here. We have these red AoEs that are on the ground. And then we also have a bunch of different people with their own AoEs. So, you know, we'll spread all this out. It's kind of messy. Okay, Chronos Sling. Now look at this one. It's going around, but it's not that oblong shape. It doesn't have like this curved shape right here because it's all going actually around. Insert is like this. Okay, so, and then the boss also says like round and round. Actually, I don't know. Oh wait, what did the boss say the first time?
Swirl.
No. Okay, I didn't say it that time. Spoilers. Spoilers. Okay, I'll check for that. Maybe he says round and round for the donut one, but maybe he doesn't. I don't know. So the vocal cues, I'm not sure, but definitely the cylindrical shape, that one's going to be inside the hitbox because it'll be a donut AoE. Okay. And then after that, the cards are gonna go on a side again. And just whatever side it's on is gonna get cleaved. So go to the opposite side. Okay, so this one, warp, is there's gonna be like, you know, this red thing and then another red thing. And so the boss is gonna teleport over there. So you wanna go behind that because then there'll be this huge cleave. Sleepka. Okay, so anyone up in front is gonna get hit with that and then fall asleep. See, look at all these people who fell asleep. It has the little white bar so you can use the Suna on it. Okay, so for this one, this stream thing, these AoEs go this way, and then these go this way, these go this way. It's gonna be a whole line situation. I just walked all over it. Okay, see, so it moves, so you don't wanna be in front of any of the ones that move. And then this next one, we spread out those AoEs. It drops this thing, which will then explode. So don't run into it like I just did. This is a bit of a strategy for the other one. So let's go take a look at that. Actually, let's just start from the beginning for this one. Okay, starts with the Tink Busters. And then this one is the oblong one. Okay, you can see, okay, there's some down here, there's some up here. Oblong. So stay outside the hitbox. A little bit further than outside. And then the side cleave, so make sure you're not on the side of the cards. Okay, this one's gonna be like all those AoEs that you gotta avoid. Dodge each other, dodge the red AoEs. Okay, so this is the cylinder, so we go inside the hitbox. And then watch for which side gets cleaved, standing on the opposite side. Okay, the warp, so we'll go across behind the new place. If you get slept, ideally your healer will assume that. Okay, so this stream thing, so what I do is I wait kind of near the end and just wait for this one to like move over, and then I wait here, wait for this line to go off, and then I move over, and then I'm just good, like I'm fine. and then we spread out and stuff. Like the trick really is to not move around too much if you can. If you can like kind of just hover in a spot, because while these AoEs are going out, like you might forget they're still going. And so that's where like this spread situation can be kind of dangerous. But then also, yeah, you drop the AoEs and make sure you don't stand in them. Yeah. Let's go back to this. Duplicate. So this, it has a square that then kind of radiates out. So you don't want to stand in any of those spots. There we go, and then they just blow up. Duplicate. Again, okay, now we got 2 of them. And so as you can see, this one is like this, and then this one's like this. And so we have a safe spot here, and we got a safe spot up here. Overlaps like that. There we go. Excelsior. Okay, so we got this square over here that's glowing, and it's going to transition to a new section, you know.
Make this world ours.
Okay, so before the cutscene, there was some random square thing, right? And so that's what this thing was. It was destroyed. Okay, so make sure you don't fall down that hole now. Okay, so here also make sure you don't fall off, like, you know, stay over here. Duplicate.
Behold my true power.
So here, the premise is the same as we saw before. We got the plus sign shape here, we got the plus sign shape here. However, we also have this little transfer thing. Okay, it's going this way, and then it's going like this. And so this panel is going to switch with this other panel. And so, this is a better angle. This panel down here is like going like T-shape like this, T-shape like this. So we definitely don't want to stand here or here, okay? And now right now, it might seem like this one's a T-shape like this, plus sign. But in reality, this whole thing is going to move over here. And so that means it's going to be a T-shape like this, okay? Like this. So you might think, oh, okay, I'll just stand here, but you gotta realize that this whole panel moves over here into this spot. And so what's gonna happen is you might fall down. Okay, so the safe spot is actually down here in this last panel in the back. Okay, see, a bunch of us ran over here and trusted, but this is actually not the spot. So this one gets hit, these get hit, the safe spot was back here. Okay, stellar burst. There's somebody with a little marker. Okay, this person gets put in a prison. Okay, and then we get a stack marker. Okay, and then now they're out of the prison. Okay, so here we have these panels down here glowing a bunch. We got little AoEs going on, and then we also have a proximity marker. And so you know, basically you want to avoid this whole thing and go as far away as you can from the boss. So either here or maybe over here, or maybe like far that way. So you're away from the proximity marker. Here. So this is gonna be like quicksand, and the bosses attack the thing, the proximity marker. Like, see, it's gonna radiate outwards. It's gonna radiate outwards. So make sure you don't run in too quickly. Like, you gotta wait for it. Okay, there, see there, and then you run in. There, so it radiates out. While that's also happening though, like, we have people who have these lightning orbs, and you gotta run away from them. Okay, so we got people with the little targets, okay, and these orbs attached. So you wanna kite them around and don't let them touch you. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to ever get chosen for that, and so we'll just have to take a look. Like, if people touch the thingy, you get the little paralyzing, but it has the white bar, so you can use Asuna to get rid of the paralyze on people. Okay, and then this thing again, see, I kind of hover here and then I move over. But this is a duplicate thing again, and so now this thing shows up again. So I move back, and then I move over. It gets a little tight there. In the later run, it's a little more clean as I figured out the better technique. Okay, we got 10 clusters. Okay, and then this panel thing again. So this one, remember, is going to move over here. So that means it's actually going to be like this. But this is not safe because this whole panel is going to leave. Okay, and then I saw that the panel was in the far back over there. So those are probably also not safe. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be this one right here. But see, I just stood here. And this whole thing is going to fall. So a bunch of us died. Okay, and then there's like the AoEs we saw before. You spread those out and then they blow up, and then these duplicate things, they go out and then it hits again, and then another set happens. And so, you know, I was kind of down for a lot of this. Okay, here's the oblong. Look at this, it's oblong. So that's going to be a circle AoE, so you want to get outside. Okay, and then it cleaves on the side. Okay. Okay, what is this? Stellar burst. Is that just a red light? Oh wait, no, that's the one where it chains someone, and then you got the stack marker. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, okay, I'm just gonna, because this looks kind of messy, I want to actually show the footage, you know what I'm saying? So let's go back to this one, and then we'll watch this one all the way to the end, because at the actually end of that other one, like, oh yeah, you couldn't really see too much and all this stuff. People almost all dead. So we'll look at this one again. So remember, it's like a T shape or X shape, plus sign, whatever you want to call it. And then it happens again, and we got two versions of them. So you gotta find the squares that don't have any of these shapes on them. Okay, and then we all get punted into an area, and then we change to a different stage. Oh, it's a corner one this time.
I also understand the true nature of my existence. So come, let us face this. and make this world ours. Time for games is over. Behold my true power!
Okay, so here, this one's gonna go this way, like this and this. And then this one is gonna move over here. So that means this and this. Oh, wait. This one, and this one, and this one's not safe, this one's safe. So our safe one's gonna be down here. Wait. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. There we go. See, so these all got taken, and these got taken from that. This is the chain one. This person's gonna get grabbed, and then we have a stack marker. Okay, so for this version, instead of the proximity marker, you get absorbed. Okay, so you still want to run away from it somewhere, and ideally, when you get pulled in, you don't go through any of these AoEs or any of that stuff, or get hit with this thing. So you want to stay as far as you can while avoiding other stuff. Okay, so then now we've got these tornado things, and we also still have this quicksand. So you want to avoid standing in any other tornadoes. And then people with the markers, the orange markers, and the lightning thing, you gotta just kite those lightning things around. Also, yeah, these tornadoes move. Also, okay, when you step in the sand, you get the 6 foams under. And if you end up standing in that for a long time, you drown in sand and then you die. So just avoid all these panels. Yeah. So for this one, see, I stand near the end and I kind of wait for it. At the end here, and then once it hits the second time here, then I move over, and that's how I handle that. It's gonna be a little different if you're melee and stuff. You gotta get closer and stuff, but I try not to run around too much. Also, tank busters. Duplicate again. So we got this one. So that's stationary. So these are not gonna be safe. And then we got one over here. Moving over here. So that means these are not going to be safe. And this one's going to drop. So that means this one's going to be safe. Okay, seen that? So it was over here. It moved over here. And so this one takes this. This originally was here and it goes like this. And so none of this is safe. It was this one. Okay, spread these out. And remember to get out of them because they're gonna leave AoEs. Add this again. Yeah, see the people in the front here, they're kind of just moving back and forward. Okay, this is the cylinder one. So inside for the donut, and then watch the side that is gonna get cleaved. So it's gonna be this side. So we stand over here. Okay, someone's gonna get locked in chains, and then we are gonna get the stack. Okay, so in this variation, it's the proximity marker, so go away, avoid the quicksand, avoid the lightning strikes, avoid the tethered lightning things. Okay, but this one, the proximity thingy, it like radiates out. So make sure you're keeping an eye on that, avoiding it. Okay, and then here, this one is going to move over here. So this is not safe. This is not safe. And then the one over here is like this, like this. So actually, this one's going to be the safe spot. No, Gus, where are you going? You were, yeah, I did. Yeah, go back. Okay, Imperial Vortex is like all those AoEs and stuff. So we get hit with like these AoEs, like when they like hit down, and then you gotta spread those other ones. So this is the warp that we saw at the beginning. Go behind the boss. You'll get slept if you are in the front. Healers can use Asuna on that. Alright, spread these AoEs, get out of the AoEs so you don't get hit with the second hit. Chronos Sling is the cylinder, so inside the hitbox. And then avoid the side with the cards. Yeah, Tank Busters, and yeah, that's that. Everything's repeating. Oh, there's like little islands in the background. Okay, so this one goes here, so this is not safe. This one's not safe, so the safe one's back here. Spread this out. Watch out for the second hit. Okay, adjust yourself with this thing. I kind of hang out back here and wait for the second hit, and then I move over. And yeah. Do I have a cutscene here? Yeah. All right, cool. I hope that was informative. It's a pretty long video. Honestly, I think not this last fight, but the second to last fight, that one was probably the most tricky one. Like I mentioned, the elemental things, like having to pay attention to it, also difficult for me. Like having to actually look at the effects and stuff. I was like, bruh. Oh yeah, also I was like, I'm so glad I'm doing, because like I finally saw like all of the little bosses, and then I also got the footage of like, oh, what's it like 2 months later. So I was very happy that I succeeded in getting footage and stuff like that. Okay, was there anything particularly interesting in this one? I don't think so. Anyway, I think soon, in October, the new Deep Dungeon will be coming out for Dawntrail. So a lot of people are excited for that. And then after that, I haven't really been following stuff as much. So I don't know when the next time will be for new content, like for dungeons or raids or anything. So I'm not sure exactly when I will be back to make another guide. But, you know, just whenever that happens, then I will be back. I hope all of that was fun, useful, and everyone enjoys the game. Bye-bye.